Load Runner. Now acquired by HP. It controls 70% of the load testing market share. And just for information's sake, all the demonstrations in this tutorial are scripted in Load Runner version 8.1, but they can be scripted and practiced on version 8.1 itself or any above version. In this tutorial, we will be focusing on three main areas of Load Runner: the Load Runner architecture, the basic process flow in Load Runner, and the general purpose Load Runner usage. Let's look into the Load Runner architecture. The system under test is a 3-tier web application. Now, consider this to be Yahoo website, for example's sake. The task at hand is to test the Yahoo website for 5,000 different users accessing the website at the same time. Now, it is physically very challenging and impractical to have 5,000 different people physically seated over 5,000 different machines and accessing the Yahoo website at the same time. So we need a way out. What is a way out? The way out would be if you could virtually generate users using software who could access the Yahoo website. Then it will bring down the manpower requirements as well as the infrastructure requirements. This is achieved using the VU-host component of Load Runner. VU-host component is responsible for generating virtual users who emulate real user behaviors. The VU host machine generally are multiple PCs with a very high-end configuration, very powerful RAM and processing speed. Say in the Yahoo example of ours, we could have one VU host generating 1,000 users. So in all, we could have 5 different VU hosts generating 5,000 users as required. The controller is a machine which organizes, drives, manages, and monitors the load test. So what are the obvious advantages? It replaces human testers with virtual users, so the manpower requirements goes down. Many V users can run on few machines, so the infrastructure requirements goes down. The controller is assigned to manage the V user, so the need for individually tracking and monitoring each V user is done away with. Using the controller centrally, you can monitor all the V users. Concluding component LR architecture is the monitoring and analysis. Again, monitoring and analysis is done using a monitoring and analysis tool, which could be available on the controller machine itself or on a separate machine. All the various performance meterizers like throughput, memory consumption, processor speed, etc. are recorded during the runtime and later analyzed using the analysis tool. So the advantages of using the analysis tool is it helps you analyze the results generated during the load test to be analyzed later. Also, another advantage of using automation tools is it helps in repeatability. So that's the LR architecture for you: the virtual user host, the controller, and the monitoring and analysis section. The 3 components are available as a bundle, as a package together, or could be purchased separately in the market as well. Okay. So again, I look at the 3 components of Load Runner. The VU generator generates the scripts and the V users. Now, what is the generation of scripts? Now, consider our same example again, the Yahoo website. Now, when the Yahoo website is being accessed by 5,000 different users, at any given moment of time, those 5,000 users won't be using the same feature or functionality of the Yahoo website. There would be certain group of people who would be accessing the email functionality. Certain people would be searching. Certain people would be reading news, and so on. The goal or the objective of performance testing is to create load testing scenarios as close as possible to real life situations. So what we need is, in the 5,000 users, we need to divide the actions performed. So certain users would be accessing the mail, certain users would be searching, and so on. All these different actions are recorded using scripts. Also, VU generator is responsible for V users. The controller controls and monitors the V host. and the analyzer is used for the result analysis. So these are the three main components of load runner again. The basic process flow in load runner. The phase 1 consists of planning the load test. What type of testing do you want to do? Whether it's a spike testing, load testing, endurance testing, volume testing, which scenarios to be covered, which transactions to be covered, what is the expected system performance, and so on. So this is the phase 1 of load testing, which is nothing but planning the load test. The phase 2 is nothing but creating virtual user scripts, which is nothing but recording the various operations that the virtual users will do on the system under test. The view generator is used for creating the view user scripts. After the phase 2, you proceed ahead and create different scenarios. And the different scenarios would be the order and the manner in which the virtual users would be accessing the system, whether the load on the web server increases by 100 virtual users every 2 minutes, or it's a ramp down. The load on the web server decreases by 100 users every 2 minutes. The order and the nature of transactions that the virtual user will do on the system under test, and so on. The phase 4 consists of running the scenarios. Now, unlike normal functional testing, load testing takes hours to execute, at times even days. Once the running of scenarios is done with, the results captured during the scenario run are analyzed and compared against expected values. The component of load runner used during the phase 3, 4 and 5 are the controller, analyzer. If there is any discrepancy between the expected results and the actual results, the system is fine-tuned. Again, the scenarios are run. Again, the results so generated are compared against the expected values. Again, if there are any discrepancies, the system is again fine-tuned, and again the entire cycle is repeated up till a point where the deviation between the expected value and the actual value is very small. So this is the basic LR flow consisting of 5 phases and all. Again, the types of protocols supported by load runner are the most comprehensive. There are many open source tools also available in the market, but they support only the HTTP protocol like OpenSTA and so on.